Hi guys! Jake and Marisa back again for more live reactions to Uchu Sentai Kyuranger. Doing another early morning video today.
As a result, my usual contractually obligated Mountain Dew has been replaced by Red Bull.
Yes. We spent a lot of yesterday filming for year 3. We took care of all of Mayo and Kay's remaining couch shots.
That's a wrap for May and Kay with the couch.
Yep.
All of them.
Yep. So I haven't finished writing year 3, but I have finished writing
several episodes.
The relevant portions of it. For like filming it, everything that needed to be filmed in the apartment, I'd written ahead of time, with the exception of a few bits that I still need to write, but don't feature Mayo and Kay. I wanted to make sure I took care of all the non-me characters first. But if all goes according to plan this week, should be a wrap on the couch. Which is great, because that's
because that doesn't belong in the studio. You see, he just picked it up and took it in the studio, which means there's a big old space here in the living room.
A little bit. Also, that thing's really heavy.
Yeah, I'll let you get it back. Not that I'm that strong, but a little bit extra. You know, I can try.
Yeah, just someone on the other side of it would be great. I kind of maneuvered it through a few doorways that did not particularly like having a couch go through them.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you're gonna have to go through 3.
Yeah.
Into the kitchen, out of the kitchen, and into the bedroom.
Yep.
Not the bedroom, the studio. Which is technically the second bedroom, but it has no bed. It has a studio.
Yeah. It has a couch now. And a desk stacked on top of another desk.
To make room for a couch.
Yeah. I might just leave that other desk up there. Just have a super desk.
It doesn't actually look that bad. The second desk kind of looks like a hutch.
Yeah.
Because it's so much smaller than the first desk.
Well, it's not that much smaller, but it is hutch-shaped when positioned on top of the other desk. So now it's sort of like there's a desk, and then there's the hutch of the next desk, and then that desk has a hutch. It's like a triple desk thing. Triple threat.
Regardless.
Anywho, so since it's another early morning, we should dive right into watching that Kyuranger.
Because we are at...
Yeah. Alright, so this is going to be uncomfortable close-up, episode 28 of Uchu Sentai Kyuranger, the BN Thieves. Breakup.
58 minutes. No, wait.
Play.
53 minutes.
Magical sound. Tsurugi's team went into the past.
What? That almost looked like the video game select screen.
Yeah, a little bit. They just sort of showed a little split of who's where. Interestingly, I believe that her voice actor, I think I saw posted in a comment, is I think Yoko from Go Busters.
I'd believe it.
He's having fun.
Doing her very best evil voice. I'm nothing like the old me.
Camelo Partis. What's that?
What the? It's a giraffe constellation.
Ooh. That was interesting.
I'm glad it was balanced.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would have looked like Ruruko Kyubi. It's a yokai. Rukurakubi, I think it is. He's just having fun blasting people. You see, this is why it's better to just be an emotionless show. Clearly.
Oh! He just shot Balance right in the face!
Yeah. That didn't hurt him much, though.
Oh no, see, Balance was thinking he was going to be able to pull that "I know you're in there somewhere" speech thing, because they're besties.
I think he's going to still try.
Yeah.
That was a weird kind of thing that he did there. He did sort of a little swooshy dance.
It had a bit of a... It still has some shades of Henshin change.
I'm liking this.
Instamorph battle?
I do like when they cut together a battle to make it all look like it's one shot, even though it's not due to the instamorphs. Oh, when the universe falls into cruel clutches, when its inhabitants are in sorrow, then, by the power of the Q globe, 9 ultimate saviors will appear to save the universe. Whoa, whoa, Kyuranger. Miyagata sora ni sate ikutsu, hoshi ga andaru. Kuroi hiro nukete mo shukasha, suru nara we go. Mugen no story, fureta toki mita toki bokura no mi o monodaru. Kangaite wakanai koto, hasuzuku chuzuku space journey. Yaranai ryu toka sagasazu ni, Kyuramekizuchu your lucky star Kyuranger. Ginga level Kyuranger. Ginga level you need your lucky star Kyuranger. Kimi ga kiraki mirai mite mitaiんだ. Fureta sogori tsujinu no tobe 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 suzuku matsuru tsujitsu yoko jinji. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, and good luck. I don't know why I keep skipping ahead to the Ginga.
You just really want to get to Ginga level.
Want to get to the Ginga level. Which is, I believe Ginga is Galaxy. Or something like it. Interesting shots here. Keep going back and forth on these POVs. You never wanted me to get my emotions back. Your emotions are not logical. The little catchphrase from when they were thieves. Oof.
Again, I know you're in there somewhere speech. Fail.
Making fun. He's trying to win you back. And he's laughing. It's not cool.
You can't. You have to hurt him. You have to hurt him so bad he'll forget.
I don't know why you would tell him that.
I have a feeling that... Okay. I really hope...
She means emotionally.
Oh, I think she was talking about knocking him upside the head, but...
Oh, Balance.
See, maybe she's lying because the more they try to hurt him, the more he goes to her side.
Also possible. I feel fantastic.
And I never felt as good as how I do right now. Except for maybe when I think of how I felt that day. When I felt the way that I do right now. Right now.
Jonathan Colton's Good Times. Dark Galaxy.
Someone from his planet.
That's unexpected. It's a Lady Naga? Kids, don't forget.
Everyone from his planet looks exactly the same as him.
Although apparently they don't all have the same voice, because that does sound like a woman's voice.
Well, that makes some sense.
Chi-Chi Voyager. This is interesting. You should never have tempted him with emotions. Ooh, backstory. Are we getting the backstory?
No, apparently we're running away for the backstory. Literally running away for the backstory.
Meanwhile, in the past.
Has nearly reached their destination.
I feel like meanwhile...
We're exiting the time hole, brace for impact.
Woo! That knocked us back into place? Hey, nice.
Well, he was screaming, no! Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Final battlefield.
No,
whoa,
no,
that's
stop.
a battlefield.
I do not consent. I do not consent. Sorry, I've been watching too many of those videos with these sovereign citizens.
Oh, yeah. And we saw Cuervo. Hey, Taramage. You're very large.
Guys, keep it down. You're gonna get seen if you don't keep it down.
But we need to narrate the situation.
There goes Cuervo.
Bye, Cuervo. Your particular blend of drink will be remembered for all time.
You know, I know it's supposed to be melodrama and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes Japanese television goes a lot better with the ugly emotional reactions than Western television does, where people somehow manage to still look somewhat dignified while screaming and in pain.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that.
Honestly, the only time, like the one that sticks out in my mind as a time where somebody actually went full ugly on their reaction was in that episode of Torchwood where Gwen thought Reese was dead.
Plans
And I was like, holy moly.
That's relevant.
That was really good. Because that's how you would really react. You wouldn't be remotely dignified. You would be a complete, ugly face mess.
Yeah.
Nobody ugly cries on television.
So we gotta follow Orion to Earth since he's wearing the tropical. Oh, what's going on?
Orion is under attack. Well, they are flying around in the past.
That's interesting.
Oh boy.
What is Taramage?
What is Balance doing?
He's being melancholy. Interesting.
He lied.
So he took him. Oh, he was stealing some treasure from Naga's people. That's interesting. So Naga always wanted emotions. What's those emotions?
Yeah, but he probably came to you and said all that stuff in the first place because he was hoping you would do that.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't walk up to random strangers and go, I want emotions. You walk up to strangers who are in trouble and go, I want emotions. And it's like, this is my demand. You want to get out of here? Give me what I want.
Interesting that he referred to a world with emotions as a world of peace. Raises some questions about his planet.
It's entirely possible that a world without emotions would be somewhat sociopathic.
Possibly a bit totalitarian.
Yeah.
What about Echidna? Where? Oh, there she is. He's doing a quite a good job.
Being someone else?
Yeah. Like,
I've always felt that seeing a person in two completely different roles is a really good way to indicate
their
acting
abilities as an actor.
abilities.
Well, among other things, they're also managing to, as far as I can tell, not speaking Japanese, sync up the voice surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Which is really tough.
I mean, I don't speak Japanese either, but the phonemes look right.
And
I would believe that that voice was coming out of that person.
Yeah. And it's not just the phonemes looking right, but also the tone matching well with the expressions of the face.
Mm.
So, what's gonna happen?
They're gonna get him back.
Are they actually gonna resolve this as quickly?
Well, I don't know if they're gonna resolve it this quickly, but I mean, I think it's a foregone conclusion they're gonna get him back.
Well, yes. I meant in this encounter. Had to test his emotions.
You know what emotion he doesn't seem to have?
Regret, guilt, sorrow.
Yeah. Emotions without empathy is dangerous.
Yeah.
She really wants them to hurt him. Besides which,
Oh, charging up bounce.
if we don't do this, the Orpheus lady is gonna just, kill him anyway.
There we go. Emotions aren't just about destroying things. It is nice that each ranger kind of gets to be sort of more powerful than the others in different circumstances.
Mm. Except for that one guy.
Which? What, Tsurugi? He's just always more powerful.
Exactly. No one is ever more powerful than Tsurugi.
Okay.
Peace.
Yeah. Sagittarius. Is that arrows? Pretty damaged.
How could a dude in a bad robot suit make me want to cry?
Well, it's not that bad suit.
Dude, did I not just lay under a bunch of arrows with you?
Yeah. Yeah, she was
Full
messing
lies.
with them. That was me. Yeah, I shouldn't have believed the evil villain there. It was a worthwhile shot. Yeah, we got some Sue and Davis.
And at the very least, he has some serious, I think, way of Gemini time. Everybody loves Gemini time. Everybody loves Gemini. Yeah.
Or is it just those two? But why? What?
Now they have a 5-man team. The question is, okay, we know balance is out of the question right now. Where is
yeah, Kotaro.
Kotaro?
Oh, he's taking
holding balance. Okay.
Okay, that's I was not expecting this to ever be a combination. Really? Gemini just kind of opens up
really interesting possibilities here.
Gemini, you're a weird Kyutama. You just kind of break all the rules. You're a rebel. You're a rebel, Gemini.
I mean, on the one hand, he did hurt Naga pretty badly, which is bad.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, he chose to go through it with him, which I think will probably...
hopefully have some level of impact.
Exactly. Rather than, just inflicting.
Well, she also lied just a moment before then, so... Oh, he's saying to a kid. Whoa. What?
I don't know.
Distress speaking.
Wait, so they came back to Earth in the present?
Interesting.
Oh no.
Oh, that's not
They
good.
crashed in the past. They crashed in the past.
This is not good.
But apparently the distress beacon's been going on since forever. But the time ripple just hit now.
What is... Okay, so that's just... For half a moment I thought something was emerging.
No, that's just
Wait.
Orion on the ground.
What's going past. Is that...
Original Don Armage?
Or possibly Orion. Ranger, Kyuranger, oh Kyuranger.
The cat's like, I'm out.
3, 2, 1, oh Q. Oh ha, oh Oshitama, Oshitama. Lucky Q-tama. 3, 2, 1, oh Q. Boo. Q, Q, tama, 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 Q, Q, badu, 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 Q, Q, tama, 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 Q, Q,
I really need to learn the lyrics to this.
Q, Q, tama, 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 Q, 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 tama, 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 Q, Q.
We're back to the regular one.
2, 3, 2, 1, oh Q. Q, Q, tama, 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 Q, Q. Q, tama, 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 Q, Q. Nacho.
We're back to the normal one instead of
I noticed.
Afro Jin.
With Tsurugi worked in there now. So we get to meet the original Orion. That's gonna be interesting. I don't know.
Now here's the question. Because she was always talking to him before, even though he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Has Raptor met him before?
Doubtful, but we also know very little about this character.
I know. Just like she would be sitting outside the ship going, "So Orion, this is what we're doing now."
I wonder. I have a new theory now, actually.
Ooh.
Considering some of the juxtapositions there in that preview, with and what we saw about the evil wave of evil flying through after the planet blew up.
Mm-hmm.
What if Orion somehow became the new Don Armage?
Gee, I hope not. That would be sad and evil.
Yeah, but maybe he got possessed by the spirit of the destroyed one and became the new one. I don't know.
Don't like.
I'm just throwing things out there. It gives him a chance at possible redemption.
No!
It is tricky to give redemption to somebody who conquered the universe, but that would be a possible route of redemption if it was against his will. Because it did look like we might get some reveal. I thought I saw Don Armage possibly lifting back his hood at some point.
We live in the time of Dexter.
Hmm.
We can make pretty much anyone sympathetic.
This is true. That's a whole separate bag of worms. One thing that I've been thinking about a little bit lately.
You've been watching The Sopranos.
Yeah, I know. The whole thing with sympathetic villain protagonists does present a whole host of issues. Because the intent, generally, I would expect, from the creators, is to present that evil can come from anywhere, and that is a reason to be diligent, to be vigilant. And instead, it usually ends up getting interpreted as since this villain
is valid.
Exactly. It ends up becoming, instead of a reason and a cautionary tale, an excuse that you can use to present the same levels of behavior.
I have a middle ground theory.
Yeah.
And I think that in some ways it allows people to connect, because here's the thing, I have this theory.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think it's true.
Yeah.
everyone has a darker self inside themselves.
Right.
That most of us, being in a civilized society, are somewhat uncomfortable with.
Right.
When the little voice in the back of your head says, I could just freaking kill him, I could stab him, I could stick this spoon right in his eye, you know.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm not going to stick this spoon right in his eye because I am a civilized person and, oh my goodness, why am I thinking about spooning someone's eyeballs out on toast?
Yeah.
Because,
on toast, no way.
Because that's how, you know, you have those thoughts, but then also you have the counter thought that's like, get out of my head.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And for some people, this gets even, you know, more than
right,
called
right,
intrusive
right.
thoughts. But the thing of it is that perhaps being able to sympathize with the villain on screen also allows us to feel less awful about having that voice in the back of the head that says spoon his eyeballs out and put them on toast.
Right.
But the thing is that although you want to feel less awful about having that voice in the back of your head,
yeah,
let us not use this as an excuse to actually spoon his eyeballs out and put them on toast.
Right, exactly. I mean, the sort of...
That's from...
And I don't really blame media for this. It's sort of a shift in...
It's really more the fandom.
Well, it's a shift in humanity's perception of villainy and sympathetic behavior. Because if we look even at a broader perspective on that, for instance, like when people find out that like Hitler did art, the intention of that bit of information is that even seemingly innocuous people can ultimately become history's great monsters. However, far too many people interpret that as, oh, maybe he wasn't such a bad guy after all because he liked art. It's like, no, still awful. Like, Purple Man and Jessica Jones. Doesn't matter if he's played by David Tennant, who's a very likable guy. The character...
Purple Man is a terrible person and deserves to be dead, and I cannot find any references on the internet to spoon his eyeballs out and put them on toast.
Really?
I could swear that was a reference to something.
Probably.
I
know technically Purple Man's name is Kilgrave in the show, but whatever.
Purple Man's name was Kilgrave always, wasn't it?
Yes, that is true. Although...
But it wasn't always his actual surname.
Yeah. No, it was originally his actual surname as opposed to the name he goes by. Because...
Why? Because was Murder Corpse already taken?
Yeah. Well, his name in the comics was Zebediah Kilgrave was his real name.
Zebediah.
Yeah, no, they decided not to use the Zebediah part.
Because that's ridiculous.
That's a name. That's a person.
I know, but...
Don't make the Zebediahs feel bad. They'll go all Purple Man on you.
Nobody goes by Zebediah these days.
Yeah.
If their name was Zebediah, they probably go by Zeb.
Probably. I mean, they didn't really include, like, you know, what his friends call him. I get the impression he doesn't really have friends and just have some call him Master.
I went to school with a guy whose name was, I think, John. Everyone called him John, but it turned out that his name was actually Wolfgang.
Okay.
Or something like that. Or Wilhelm, or whatever.
I feel like we're getting off track.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
So maybe Zeb would go by, like, Mac or something, just to avoid being called Zebediah. Anyway.
But yeah, this was...
Orion's got a nice...
He's got a little...
I almost described it as something that starts with a B and ends with ing, but I didn't want to pay the swear jar. So.
Yeah. It looks like he has Ollie's tail on his shoulder.
He does. A little bit.
Hey, Ollie. Have your tail. Alright.
Pull the cat's toe.
Just give it a little swish.
So, I'm thinking, if you can't turn Naga back...
You gotta develop some form of integration with his emotions.
Yeah, he's got to move forward.
Yeah.
You can't go back, he's got to go forward, and forward means empathy and compassion to go with his emotions.
Yeah, which is...
Because without empathy and compassion, his emotions are just causing him to act out of self-interest and self-interest alone.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the right course of that is going to be, seeing as how Balance wasn't able to get through to him, unless they have some sort of empathy Kyutama, which feels like a bit of a cheap out.
Actually, I'm guessing, because I've seen this in media like this before, that what's going to wind up happening is that he's going to have to see them all crying, and it was his fault. All of them.
Fair enough.
Not just one or the other, but, demorphed on their knees and going, ah. And then he's going to be all like, oh my goodness, I made everybody cry.
That actually reminds me. Not only did this was this a restoration of the old end credits, but it's the first time I was seeing that version of the end credits with Tsurugi in them, which include some amusing bits such as him just sort of flying by at one point on his riding on the back of the Ho Voyager, which is kind of cute because he's just kind of surfing on a space shuttle thing. But yeah, I wonder what happened to them in the past, and
something awful,
and how we're going to deal with that.
Whatever was attacking them, it either followed them through that jump, or it destabilized them enough while they were making that jump that they crashed into Earth as soon as they came out of jump.
Or, I don't know, crashed into Earth in the past, and they're only just now getting the distress signal?
I think that's a time travel whoopsie.
Might be.
One of those kind of things where the moment that it happened, where they're trying to correlate something where, like, it happened in the past and now it changed the present.
Right.
Everyone becomes aware of it at some corresponding time, but that's not really how time travel works. But I'm thinking that that's how they're playing it.
Possibly.
And that once they solve something on the other thing, the crashed Orion will disappear from the present.
Then again, we did see Lucky interacting with Orion, so maybe Orion hitched a ride with past Tsurugi, which that's going to loop some things. I don't know how that'll go.
Yeah.
Because if Orion hitched a ride with past Tsurugi, that undoes all of Tsurugi's contributions, if we have any sort of ripples like that. In which case, that could destroy Orion. I don't know what's happening.
Time extrapolation.
Yeah.
Always provides potential for confusion.
Temporal extrapolation.
Temporal extrapolation always provides potential for confusion.
Yeah. That was a bit from an analysis in the future DRPR.
That I was having trouble getting out because blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah. I give you some horrible lines to have to say.
And then I have to say them in a rapid pace like Dr. K.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that I don't talk in a rapid pace in ordinary life, but doing so whilst doing your techno battle is a little bit difficult.
Yeah, a little bit. Had some interesting fights this episode. Again, Naga's actor playing Echidna was surprisingly good. Like, that sort of character.
Every time you say it that way, all I can think of is actual echidnas.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't think that's what they want to do to me.
They might. Like, isn't Naga also a word for something?
Yeah, but Naga's a mythical creature, and echidna is an actual animal.
Fair enough.
Medusa was a Naga.
Oh, okay.
That's why the snake eye freezes people.
But, yeah, like, having a male actor also play a female character, it does not... I'm really glad that we don't have an Adam Sandler, Jack and Jill situation going on here. Because these sorts of things very rarely play successfully.
That's true. But I think a part of it has to do with a talented acting, because I think one of the things that really jars one in those situations is often the fact that the body language is all wrong.
Yeah.
And he is adapting the body language.
And I mean,
in some ways he may be allowing the costume to to inform his emotions.
Yeah.
Because it does help to have a fitted dress. Trust me, I can move a lot more femininely in one of those than I do in most daily life.
Yeah.
Because it kind of forces you in a certain way, like if that's corseted.
Well, Naga also has always
being quite androgynous.
Yeah, he's always been something of a more androgynous character with some with a few effeminate bits of body language, and he's just sort of turning that up a bit for Echidna.
Yeah.
So that does help.
But that's a thing that happens. That's another thing that happens a lot in Japanese media, is taking the pretty boy and putting him in a dress.
That's true. That is a much more common trope.
And it's not seen as a joke. That's where all the fangirls go,
yeah.
He's so cute in a dress!
One thing that's kind of interesting, Madamodius from Ninja Steel, that character is apparently male in Ninja. But with a female voice.
And Malachite is, what you call it from Sailor Moon is, a dude.
Yeah. I don't know the Sailor Moon characters, but I'll go with okay.
There's a villain who got
converted into a female
character just by dub.
I mean, that is also somewhat understandable when you're translating things over to an American audience. Not only because of the difference of gender norms, but also it does provide... It's weird because you are subscribing to more traditional gender norms when you do that, but you're also evening out the gender disparity when you do that as well. So, sort of a, 6 one, half dozen the other. You're providing more female characters, but at the same time, you're doing that by removing representation of other forms of gender expression. So, it's a little bit of a weird kind of mixed bag there on that.
Yeah, but one of the things was is Zoisite.
Zoisite?
Zoisite was male in the original and female in the dub.
Yeah.
And the reason that they did that is because Zoisite is gay.
Right. I don't know quite what the deal is with...
And in a relationship with a male character on the show.
Okay.
So, in order to hide that, they gender swapped Zoisite.
Yeah, that's another thing.
And since they were both, Bishoujo, it...
That I will admit, that is another thing where, yeah, it has to do with different gender norms. Because actually with Sailor Moon, they already have a pretty heavy female cast.
Yeah.
So, in that case...
No, that was done solely to mask the fact that there was a gay relationship in the first season of Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
They actually handled that one with a more believable thing in the gender bend than they did with Uranus and Neptune being cousins.
Yeah.
They had to stop the dub at some point, and I swear it's because they ran out of ways to
work around them.
To work around them because they kept getting more and more, kissy face.
Interesting.
Fair enough. It's like, how do you work past it once they start actually kissing each other on the lips?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can still just cut around a bunch of that stuff, I'm sure, but it is a bit of a...
Well, as the series wore on, there was more and more of the outer senshi in it.
Yeah.
And then you wind up with, if you're going to cut them out, then you need to start patching 2 episodes together, or you're not going to have enough content.
That was, early 90s? That was not that uncommon to patch episodes together of different, various anime series.
Well, by the time they got to there, it was late 90s.
Really?
By the time they got to that season, yes. Yeah. There were quite a few seasons of Sailor Moon.
I guess I didn't realize how long it ran for.
Sailor Moon ran quite long. It ran even longer in Japan, because they had a couple more seasons that we never dubbed.
Right. I thought that I thought that it took longer to get over here than it did. I thought it was like something that maybe started in the late 80s and just ran to the mid-90s over there, and then over here we just had it from early 90s to mid-90s.
No, we got
I don't know. I didn't follow the show.
Yeah, I was watching it. I'll get the timeline on that.
Okay.
Yeah, it in Japan it was 91 to 97, so...
Okay. So, somewhat late 90s, but not super late.
Well, by the time it got here...
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
Because we were on a delay.
That's right.
Because Deke would buy it and then dub it terribly.
So Don Armage's a big guy. He's like the Snoke from the Star Wars. He's not just big in hologram form. He's apparently just also
big,
very large.
Unless we're seeing some more of a. I mean, it's possible that even that thing that we're seeing there is still a
projection.
Not a projection, but look at the man behind the curtain.
That's also possible. It could be that
he's got some Wizard of Oz thing going on.
He didn't actually the whoever he destroyed was not the real Don Armage and some sort of. It was a Doom bot.
If you destroy the great big golden head in the Wizard of Oz, you haven't destroyed the Wizard of Oz.
It was Doombot Armage.
It was not a Doombot. In fact, it says that explicitly in a footnote in the comic book. This is not a Doombot.
Well, he's also not Squirrel Girl. You need to find the squirrel, Qtama, if you want to defeat Don Armage.
Well, they found the archer.
They found the archer.
I'm pretty sure that's what Sagittarius is.
Yeah, that was what it was. That's what I suspected it was, but I wasn't 100% sure until he actually launched it. Because Erigeron was the minister of the Sagittarius system, and he had an attack very similar to that one with the flurry of arrows.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a sad moment.
Okay.
And you were right. The villain was just messing with them to get them to attack their own teammate. I could easily have seen it going either way.
Him further into her corner.
Yeah. I mean, Balance did take a pretty good gamble there by staying by him through that.
I'll not let you go through this pain alone.
It's just a shame it didn't actually work.
Yeah. And it seems like Balance took more damage than Naga did.
Well, he was already pretty badly damaged from fighting Naga, too.
Fair enough. Because, I mean, Naga got up and walked away, and Balance is like, I need help.
Yeah. Well, Naga had also damaged his leg earlier on.
That's right. He had gotten the side, like, right into it.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. I have a feeling that Kyuranger eventually gets adapted. They are not going to... they're probably going to cut around a good chunk of the fight if they use it.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to, like, gouge people in the leg in
yeah, it's a little too vicious. A little too vicious.
A little too vicious. It was just like they have to, like, cut around all this stuff where, like, you never see Power Rangers bleeding from the nose after they take their helmet off.
Yeah, generally no.
Whereas in Sentai, like, people take their helmets off and it's like, oh, they took a beating inside their helmet.
Like, every now and again, Ranger might be bruised up, maybe have a little cut or something,
like,
but...
bleeding down their face.
Yeah, no, never anything that extreme.
Well, you know, your scalp bleeds really badly, so it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
I mean, you know your scalp bleeds really badly, because you went like this with a wrench, and then...
Yep, I smacked myself in the forehead with a wrench. That did happen.
Trying to tighten the thing.
I was underneath a platform for a turntable for a theater show, and I was
trying to do repairs on the fly during the run.
Yeah. And
it's a good thing it was a rehearsal, because...
While I was trying to repair it, I was lying on my back underneath it, and after the twist, it came loose, smacked me right in the head.
Lobby going off comms.
She was the assistant stage manager, so...
And we had a lot of entrances and exits from the lobby, so that's where I was, and I start hearing all of the other techs who can actually see...
On the comm system.
Like, I'm hearing, like, sound and lights going, oh my god, Jake's bleeding everywhere.
Yep.
And I'm like, lobby off comms!
Yep.
And I ran into the house.
Yeah. Oh, you ran into the house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I was coming around the other way.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm fine, I just gotta get some paper towels. That was awful.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
So anyhow, yeah, all they would have to do is take a little knock, you know, of something sharp inside the helmet, and that's why they would have, like, blood streaming down the side of their face, because that's realistic, because
Yeah.
your scalp bleeds like, whoa. It doesn't take much of an injury.
Right.
And it's not necessarily a serious injury, as was determined in that particular case as well.
Yeah.
You just have to get some pressure on it and let it scab over. It's actually a small wound.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
you
I
still
still
never
have
see that in
I
Paris.
still have a small scar there. If you guys have ever noticed a small scar on my forehead, it's from that.
Well, then there's the other one.
Yeah, that one's a little bit more.
Oh,
higher
so you're
on my
talking
scalp.
about this one right here.
Yeah, that one's from the wrench.
Yeah.
Hey, Frankie. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, but the Power Rangers, usually it's coming from under the hairline when they're bleeding.
Oh, you mean in Sentai?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me, in Sentai, it's coming like...
Yeah.
So the scar, whatever scars they would have would be in their hair anyway.
Yeah, very rarely do we see any blood on Power Rangers.
No. Power Rangers don't bleed.
Not generally.
Sentai bleeds.
You will see occasionally some bandages with bits of red underneath them that would imply they were bleeding earlier, but pretty much never active bleeding.
Yeah. Even when they're forcibly demorphed.
With
like,
very few
when Sentai
exceptions.
characters get forcibly demorphed, they look like under there. That's the story.
Yep. But I mean, there have been some very rare, like for instance in Wild Force, they did make mention of Zanaku bleeding because that was a plot point. But
Gesundheit.
thank you. But that was because it was a plot point, and they were using Sentai footage, and he was at that time a fully he was a fully suited monster, so. They were able to.
You're allowed to
work
do a
around
lot
that
more
little
fully
bit more.
suited monsters than you're allowed to do to...
That was also the transition from Saban to Disney, so although Wild Force had plenty of issues, they were able to play around with what they were and were not allowed to do quite a bit. It was also going to be the last Power Rangers at the time as well.
They keep saying that.
Yeah, I know.
Never happens.
Because basically Disney was just going to finish the season that was already in production until Doug Sloan and Dan Austin swooped in and like, hey, have you heard about this place called New Zealand?
We can get it done cheap there.
But like, for instance, apparently...
Actually, it's funny, because I was thinking during this battle, oh yeah, it would have to be the robot, but no, it wouldn't in Sentai.
Right.
I was thinking it'd have to be the robot that gets gouged in the leg because he won't bleed.
I mean, I feel like they were able to go a little bit farther in the brutality with that fight.
Oh no,
because he was a
absolutely. But my
robot.
brain was still in Power Rangers mode, and I'm going,
Yeah.
of course it has to be the robot. And then I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be the robot because I'm watching Sentai.
But one thing that like they were able to pull off in Wild Force because of that transition.
Mm.
Oh no, we're totally going to show them alive later. And they didn't. They actually killed off a couple characters in Wild Force simply by lying about those characters surviving to the execs. Oh yeah, we'll totally find them later. In their graves.
They never got away with that again, did they?
Well, I don't know if they ever tried to pull that again. I mean, we have had characters killed off since then, like Phillips.
But I feel like after you've pulled that once, they go, oh really?
Wait, Phillips was...
I don't know who Phillips is.
No, Andrews. Phillips was Wes's butler. Andrews was Summer's butler.
Yes, but he had death by backstory.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, that was the same thing with characters in Wild Force. That was just the first time they actually managed to pull that off without having
death by backstory is a lot more.
You can usually work with it a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean it's like everyone knows that Uncle Ben died.
Yeah, for some reason.
No matter
if
what
it's in the
continuity
past,
you're
it's usually
in,
more permissible.
Uncle Ben is dead.
But Wild Force was, I believe, the first time they really did a death by backstory.
The Waynes, they're dead.
In Power Rangers,
No, I know. What I'm saying is that...
Yeah, the Waynes are always dead, Uncle Ben's always dead. Krypton's always dead.
Like, even
You got some lifer.
even in comic books where lots of people keep coming back to life. Like, Aunt May has come back to life how many times now? But Uncle Ben has never come back to life, and won't.
I mean, it's never... I'm pretty sure they've probably done something for, like, an issue, but...
If you had death by backstory, you are staying dead.
Yeah, you'll make a cameo appearance every now and again, though. Gwen Stacy was a weird one, because she kept getting cloned.
Yeah, but she didn't have death by backstory.
True. She's just an iconic death.
Yeah, that's different.
Norman Osborn stayed dead for a while. Bucky stayed dead for a while.
Getting off topic.
Yeah, we are. So yeah,
Don Armage did not stay dead.
we had some good. Well, we have no idea how long he was destroyed for or whatever happened to him. Because despite going to the past, we still have no new information on Don Armage. But something is going on there.
We might still get our information on Don Armage. See, now I planned ahead this time and brought the QR code.
Yeah. So that's our sign to wrap up, because you gotta get to work.
Ta-da!
Hey, it worked.
This is how I get up out of bed in the morning.
But we had
nowhere near the bed.
We had some good drama, and we finally got the backstory of Naga and Balance.
Yeah.
Which
they got together.
Which I had written off a while ago that we were not going to get, but now that we have this arc going on, it makes perfect sense we'd be getting that now. They really are pacing out their
backstory
for their backstories and character focuses for all the various characters. So hopefully we'll get more of this for the other characters.
Knowing, well, while we're still on this story, I'm interested in knowing a little bit more about the Orpheus system.
Yeah, Orphea.
The Naga system.
Yeah.
Because we've got Echidna here.
Yeah, but like hopefully we'll get some more stuff for like Hammy or Spada and Garu.
Those three are getting
the ones
short
who have not been getting much focus this
season.
season.
They got major short shrift.
Yeah. Hammy's been getting a little bit better focus lately, thanks to blaming herself for Naga, but that's about it.
Yeah, but it's still more present time.
Yeah.
I'm a little more interested in some more of her backstory beyond when she was like 11.
Yeah, like how did Hami, Spada, and Champ
become
Kyurangers? Or are they going to pull an RPM and just never show how the first three got recruited?
Entirely possible.
Yeah. So, anyway, we're about out of time.
Yeah, I gotta go to work.
We should wrap things up. So, I look forward to seeing
more of this.
What's going on with Orion next episode. And until then, farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you. This Echidna is going to show Naga some knuckles.